okay? Everything else, they don't have to put in, but, you know, it'd be nice if they did, but they don't have to. So you type in that information.
This is info that we mine?
Say again?
Is this info that we mine, so you're collecting this info?
Yes, we collect this data from.
So it would be better if they filled out everything?
Absolutely, but for the sake of, when you're out there, if there's like 5 people at your table, they don't have to, right? So, once you enter your contact information, you submit it. It's a last step to review. So I'm interested in aeronautics and airframe, psychology, the different services, paying for college, and here's my contact information. Once I review that, I click submit, and then my brochure is being generated. So you're gonna get this thank you page. You can view your customized brochure online by clicking on the following link. So I click that link, and that's where the PDF comes up. In addition, this PDF was just emailed to my email that I put in on the form.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is what the brochure looks like. It's customized, so info packet for Mila Johnson. It kind of gives our boilerplate verbiage on the first page. And then second page is getting into the customized stuff that I asked to see. So I wanted to know about aeronautics and airframe. Now, some departments really got into this and they, you know, submitted pictures and they're like, include this and here's contact information. So they really wanted to be as detailed as possible for their area. And then there are some areas where we have just general information, either from the catalog, you know, and just general contact information. So not every department page will look like this aeronautics one. So this is their program overview. These are the degrees and certificates that we offer here in that program. On the top right is their contact information. So the professor of that of the aeronautics program is Kevin Spolestra, and he provided his email for prospective students to contact him. On the second and third pages, that's actually catalog information that talks about, you know, the classes and everything that are required for those degrees. And then next, I chose psychology. So again, same type of information. Now, psychology did something a little different. They provided opportunities that are associated with the psychology degree. So here they listed, you know, you can have with a psychology degree, you can work in business, the medical field, finance, health and social services, criminal justice, federal, state, government careers, teaching, human resources, marketing, and sales. So they're providing students with a kind of overview or outlook on, with a psychology degree, what they can do with that, right? So some programs decided to go that route. Again, we get the pages from the catalog to show the classes that are required. The student services, admissions and records information. I asked for counseling information. I wanted to know about sports, and then student clubs. So all the information that I clicked on is in my brochure, right? So then paying for college talks about financial aid, the cost, when to submit, all of those things. And then at the end of every e-brochure, we have this closer page, why choose SCC? So that's kind of our conclusion page. Yes.
So if, with a prospective student, if they have no targeting whatsoever, they're just as broad as you can get, this probably is not the way to go. Would it be better to just have access to the
catalog. So I direct students to this link no matter if they know what they want to do or not. Because at the end of the day, you can play around with it. You can go and create as many brochures as you want. In the back of their mind, even though they're not 1,000% sure they want to study psychology, they, you know, could get information about it and then research a different program, right? So yes, you can direct them to the website, which has the catalog right there, where they can look at everything. And then you can also direct them to the e-brochure so they can play around in it. It's a tool to use. There's no limit on how many brochures you can create. So I would still direct them to the e-brochure. Do you guys have any other questions about the e-brochure?
I have
Is it-
one.
Yes.
You can finish.
Oh, is it updated? Do the departments update it?
So this is a new tool, so it's updated for the 2014-15 year. So each academic year, we will go ahead and update in the summer. So that upcoming, fall, it'll be updated with our programs, services, all of that. So yes, it's as updated as the catalog.
Actually, it's just a curiosity. So when you capture the email and all the information, the brochure, you know can you cross the information if he contacts the school or the success of the whole thing? Because this is one of the arguments that I would like to use, trying to sell to them and say, hey, and beyond the fact that you're gonna have very accurate information, I'm not gonna say maybe the psychology has this or not, like a business career or club that doesn't have it. It's very accurate. You're gonna find a lot of options for what you maybe you're indecisive or you want.
So your question to me is, do we cross the information that we receive from?
How successful is the brochure?
So again,
What the-
the brochure is new. We implemented it about 2 months ago.
Oh,
So we're still kind of figuring that out.
sorry.
But the idea is that we can take the data from the e-brochure tool and we can cross-reference that and, in a semester and say, okay, did these students that we have listed that created brochure, have they applied to the college yet? Where are they at in the process?
Yes.
So then we can follow up with them to say, oh, in August of 2014, you inquired about Solano. What's holding you back? How can we help you move forward?
Yeah.
So yes, we will use that data to then further market to them.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions about e-brochure? Is it pretty self-explanatory? Do you guys feel comfortable in pushing the tool and, talking about it?
It's pretty amazing,
Yeah.
I think,
Good, awesome.
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. So, all right, so that is e-brochure. The second thing that we're gonna go over is the data entry. So I told you guys in the first training that you will be doing some data entry. And the biggest project that we have right now is our branding and image campaign. And so we're receiving surveys from current students, prospective students, high school counselors, internal employees, as well as external employers. The surveys that you guys will be entering are from the current students as well as prospective students, okay? So the links, and I'll send you all the links that you can keep in your email.
I got an email about surveys. Was that, I thought it was from you about this. Was that actually?
You got an email
to me-
from
to
me?
Yeah. You had the current student survey and the perspective.
So you already, I sent that yesterday?
That's my student survey that I need to do.
You should get on Monday.
Monday.
Mhm.
We got it on Monday.
Yes.
I don't know when you sent it, but we got it on
Are
Monday.
you guys online, are you taking online classes?
You sent for all our group, everybody in the
I'm in the
ambassadors.
email right now. You sent it to everybody.
The ambassadors.
Is this the email that I sent?
Yes.
Is this what you're talking about? Okay, so yeah, so this is how you will access the surveys that you'll be inputting, okay? So you wanna keep this email in your email, and these are the surveys that you'll be inputting. Does that make sense? So, we have prospective student surveys, which it's clearly marked on the header of the survey, right? So you'll know if you're gonna click into the prospective link or the current link. So this one says prospective students, and then this one says student survey. So So that's your current student, that's you guys, right? So when you're, this is for the current student survey link, this is for the prospective student survey link. So when you click into the link, and you guys, if you all have the email, go ahead and go into the email, and let's click on the current student survey link. This is what the survey looks like. So essentially what you guys are doing are just taking the survey from this paper, okay? So you are entering what these people said on their survey into Qualtrics, right? So this student is a second-year student, math and science. They also chose other. And you want to type in exactly what's on the survey. Click the arrow to go to the next question. Question 3 was Solano. Yes. So, you know how, have any of you taken this survey yet
Yeah.
in your classes?
No.
Yeah.
No?
Not in the classes.
Okay, well, faculty were asked to administer this to all of their classes. So you should be, at least from one of your instructors, be taking this survey.
They're supposed to do it in all of their classes?
They are. Yes,
We had to take it last Wednesday in our evening class.
okay.
So I guess it depends on when the teachers are handing them out. Because not all the students are gonna wind up getting them.
That's interesting. Okay. So, on the survey, you know when you've all taken a survey before, right? So it's like, oh, was Solano your first choice for school? If yes, skip to question 5, right? So when you're looking at this, you're thinking like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, you're going through. You're not really reading through the questions, you're just entering the data. So don't be alarmed when you're like here and you're like, wait, it skipped, right? Well, it depended on their response, if it skips a question or not. Does that make sense? So they said yes, and so I'm gonna go to the next question. So it didn't go to question 4, it went to question 5, right? So just make sure that you're following along on the survey sheet that you get from the student. So they didn't answer question 5, they answered 6, and this is what they put in answer 7, okay?
So this is the data entry. We're
Just
gonna
to
take,
see, huh?
Just to see,
we're gonna take each survey and match what it have in the paper with this online thing.
absolutely.
Okay.
This is the current data entry project. Now, not all data entry projects are gonna be the same. I'm not gonna always have surveys as your data entry. It may be, or when you attend an outreach and you have the outreach sign-in, it may be you entering your outreach sign-in information into a spreadsheet, right? So it's not gonna always be the same, and I'll show you that as well. Question 10, click agree,
Mrs. Hoffman.
oh, sorry, thank you. Disagree. Agree. And so on these surveys, if they wanna be entered into, win a gift certificate, they can put their contact information, but it's not required.
I just entered.
So now, if you haven't taken this survey in your class, but you really just did your own survey here, don't take it in class, okay? Because you've already done it. We only want to hear from students one time, okay? So then, and you're done. So once you enter the survey, you're gonna take a highlighter or a marker, and you're just gonna put an X on it to know it's done, okay? We wanna keep these, so don't recycle them, don't, toss them. When you're done with your packet, just put them back in that envelope. On the envelope, you're going to write done, the date that packet was done, and your initials, okay? So, to get back to the survey to enter another one, you just click out of there, and then you go back to your link, and you start over.
The envelope is per session, per data entry session.
It's So the way that we broke it down was we provided the faculty with 35 to 40 surveys per class, right? So that's the way they handed them back in.
Oh, so you're gonna, they're gonna come in an envelope, you're gonna complete the envelope and then see.
Exactly. So, I mean, you may get through 5 packets, you know, in the hour or 2 hours that you're working. So that's the data entry for these surveys. Is that pretty
Cool.
self-explanatory?
Yes.
Pretty simple. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple to practice on. And, you know, you guys know your fellow students, right? There are some students that are gonna write inappropriate comments, you know, on the surveys. But we want that on there. We wanna see those comments. So, you know, don't try to fluff it or change it when you're entering it. Enter exactly what is on that survey. Terry, do you have anything to add about the surveys?
Nope, I think you got it. I'd say do the best you can and move on when you can't read their email, phone number, or their name. You just get as much as you can, and that's all you can get.
Exactly, because she's right. Some handwriting is off the hook, and you can't really decipher it, but you just do the best you can.
And after you enter it, draw a line through it, so we know that it's been
I
entered.
showed him the X, yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Does it matter if it's colored or anything?
I prefer like a colored marker or highlighter, so you can just pass this one around if you don't have one. You have one?
So just, do we have to cross it off each individual thing or just the whole page when it's done?
Just like I just put an X at the top, you know it's done.
Okay.
So, number 3,
Uh-huh.
was Solano Community College your first choice for school? Yes or no? If you answer yes, you keep question number 5, but if you answer no on the paper, you go to number 5. Right?
Yeah, question 4.
He jumps automatically?
No. So he answered no to 3, then it went to 4.
Right.
You entered 4. If no, then what other schools? Because you entered what
When
school
it's
was your
done,
first choice,
you go
you
back to that
essentially already
link in your
answered.
email. Is that what it was?
See what I'm saying?
It's automatically skipped.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That's the only one.
Brandy, you had a question?
It's too bad.
No, I'm not.
One little button right there.
Well, they didn't expect, this is an electronic survey, you're being a student for them. They don't want, you know, the students to go email me or whatever, right?
Yeah, I got you.
You know how this is set up.
So you're making sure that the link that you're choosing in your email is the link for the type of surveys you're doing. Yes. Right. So can you forward her the email? I should be. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sending to you, school account. I'll be on this side. On my phone right there. I just had a mail, I didn't even mess with it. It's fine, it's taken care of. Okay. Are you not gonna give me more content?
Yeah, but I mean.
It might be. Start.
Entry, okay? You guys, during those times, during those hours, if it's in between class, or if you're just on campus, or whatever, you wanna come pick up some hours, we'll be in 103B, which is next door to here, okay? So you'll be in 103B, you'll be able to go in there, the surveys will be in there, just pick up a packet, log in, and get to it, right?
Is the access out here or in here?
It's in here, I believe. So you, I will send out what those hours will be and the days, so that you know. And then for the following week, I'll send out an email next week of what those hours will be for the survey data entry. Does that make sense? Okay.
We already got an email from filling out our e-brochure.
Good, good. So you know it works. So, the next thing that I'm going to go over is, we're gonna talk a little bit more about outreach. I know that was probably, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but in the first training, that's what we talked about most, right? Outreach. So, when you're out there, 95% of the time, bless you, you will be with a seasoned employee of the college, okay? There may be the occasional time where they get called to do something else, they can't, attend, and so it may just be you. Very rare, slim to rare, especially this semester when you're first starting. That may be a little bit more frequent next semester, that sort of thing. But starting out, you will be with a seasoned employee. Again, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that seasoned employee is gonna be responsible for taking the cart, getting it to the outreach unit, okay? There may be a time where I shoot you an email and say, hey Dave, you know what, I need you to pick up the cart today, to do the setup, okay? But you'll be notified when you are responsible to get that cart, okay? So, in the event you're responsible to pick up the cart, it's located at Admissions and Records, in the lobby area of their office. So, you guys, if you're facing Admissions and Records, there's a door on the left side of their window. And that's the door where you'll knock to get let in to get the cart, okay? If you have on your student ambassador shirt and name plate, should be no issue, okay? You just let them know I'm here to pick up an outreach cart. They'll let you in, you grab the cart, and they're all lined up against the wall. You'll see them right there. This is what the carts look like. You probably can't see in the back, so you may want to stand up. But this is what the outreach cart looks like lined up against the wall, okay? So, thank you. So, when you go pick up the cart, you just grab one, and this is everything that's in it. A Tupperware full of candy, gotta entice the students to come to the table, right? This green folder, this folder has applications, so although, of course, we want students to apply online, you will have the occasional student that says, I don't have, online access. And so then you can give them a paper app. I encourage folks that take a paper app to fill it out there and bring it right back to me, okay? 9 times out of 10, if they fill this app out and we expect them to mail it in, we'll never get it, okay? So encourage them if they need a paper app to fill it out right then and there. So there are paper applications in the file folder. There's also the sign-in sheet. So the sign-in sheet looks like this. This will be the other type of data entry that you'll be doing, okay? So let's say when we first started outreach, we had everyone that stopped at our table put their name, their email, their information. Well, after doing it for a while, we realized that was kind of pointless because we had kids that were maybe 8th grade, 9th grade, and they just wanted to put their name down. They didn't really want college information, right? So now I'm asking that people who either have, you know, a follow-up question, they need assistance with, you know, from one of the departments, whatever it is, then they put their information here, okay? And this is how we know who we're following up with, okay? If they have, and I think I'm gonna update these forms to add a section of, you know, reason or question or, you know, something so that they can fill in what they're wanting follow-up on, okay? As of right now, if they have like a lengthy question or something like that, they just write it on the back. But I think I'm gonna update this. So it's asking for their first name, last name, their phone number, their email, and their date of birth. The reason we ask for the date of birth is because when they do an application, let's say their name is Sally Johnson. That could be a common name. We might have 35 Sally Johnsons in our database. So we need your date of birth. They don't have to put it down. You know, if they make a big deal about it, I don't want to give you my birthday. Okay, no problem, right? But that's why, and you can explain that reason why. So that's put out on the table as well.
Can I have a,
Yes.
so this list, when they finish the outreach, program,
Mhm.
or whatever event that is going on, I am the responsible one to type this thing at the end, or just deliver all together, and they will process in the worksheet or something like that?
So, good question. Right now, as it stands, because you guys will be with an employee of the college, a seasoned person, they're responsible to get this information to me, okay?
Typed?
Yeah.
Okay.
They scan it to me, and then I have someone that's inputting that data. But when you guys start going out, you guys, it will be kind of like the surveys, right? I'll say, okay, these are the hours we're offering data entry, and you may get 10 sheets that you're
Yeah.
entering this data,
Yeah.
okay? But just on the outset, from coming back from an event, that seasoned person is scanning this and sending it to me, okay?
Can I, sorry, some
Mhm, no.
questions, but can I take a photograph on my phone and send you? Will be the same? Or are you saying to really go home, type everything, and
No, 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 no.
send you a worksheet?
No. So, I think you're asking me two questions.
Sorry.
Okay, so when you're going out right now, let's say you come out with me,
Right.
okay? I'm the one that picked up the cart, I'm the one that set up the table. I'm gonna be responsible to bring this cart back, scan it, okay? When you want data entry hours, you're gonna go to whatever lab I tell you data entry hours are available that week, and you're gonna be entering this into a spreadsheet. A photograph won't help me,
Okay, got it now.
okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you for the questions. So, those are the things that are in this folder in the cart. So we got candy, we got the green folder, we have a catalog. So the current year catalog is in there.
Cute.
Thank you.
Better than that old thing we've been having.
What, Terry?
I'm stealing those.
Oh. So, those are in there. Right now, we do have a pack of these folders. They're from the state. It's just talking about community college information and updates, so you can put some of these out on the table. And then this is our Solano outreach folder. I think I showed it to you guys, right, in the first training? Okay. So this is our folder. This is what we're laying out on the table for students to take as a kind of must-have, right? This is the stuff that has all the information that they need. Yes.
Is this like with brochures and different stuff?
Yeah. So this has our brochures, this has our orientation dates, our processes, all of them.
I think I did those.
You did them?
I did heck of them for you last semester.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the table. Presumably the table, they're usually the 6-foot, rectangular style table. So, the tablecloth will be in your basket as well, in your cart. It has our logo on it. So you wanna make sure that the logo is centered on the table, no matter how long the table is, we want it centered, okay? So then, I take some folders, take some folders and I kind of spread them out like in a little, fan, right? Just try to make it as presentable, professional, pretty, enticing as possible. Then I take some candy. I don't just put the thing on there because that would be a free-for-all, really. So I'll take a couple of pieces out. We get nothing but wrapped candy. You won't get candy that's not, in wrappers. And then I'll just kind of spread it out along the table, okay? The catalog. I place the catalog. Oh, I really need a bigger table. Usually the table's longer. But I'll put that in one, the top corner here. And then I'll have pins and business cards on the other side. Okay? So essentially, and then I'll have my sign-in sheet kind of up by me. Okay, so if I'm sitting here and there's space, then the sign-in sheet is kind of up here by me. Okay? So that is a very mock idea of what your table looks like. Very simple. It's simple, it's easy, takes a couple of minutes. That's it, okay? Do you guys have any questions about the setup? So if you have additional items, like, every now and then we'll get stuff from the state to put out, you can put these out, like, obviously if the table's longer, just stick them there on as a stack. They may give us highlighters or pens or something too. I'll put a few of those out. Okay? Yes.
Professor Spellner, when he was giving our presentation on Monday, he was talking about, people with questions and stuff like that. And we asked him if it would be okay if we brought like a notebook or something to, write down important questions and stuff like that. So would that sign-up sheet be better for that
Yes.
stuff than bringing our own notebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I bring extra stuff, I just won't remember that it's there. And so this stuff I know is going back in the cart, it's gonna get to me. If you have a personal notebook and, you just forget you put it in your backpack and you're like 3 days later, oh no, you know what I mean? So I prefer that it's on the questions. So any other questions about setup? No? And I actually have some pictures that I'll email to you.
They're already there.
They're already there? Did Dr. Spillner send them?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what the regular size table looks like. We're using these as paperweights because sometimes when you're at an outdoor event, it gets very windy, right? So the papers start flying, the folders start flying. So I put a few of them, on top of the folders just to hold them down. So they're in there as well. All right, so we're moving right along. At the end of the event, presumably your cart will be much lighter because you've given out stuff, right? And so you just kind of pack it back the way that it was, and then if you're responsible for the cart, let's say you're at a Saturday event, right? Saturday the college isn't open technically, like the student service offices and that sort of thing. So if you know you're working a Saturday event, I ask that if let's say I say, oh, Fabricio, you're working this event tomorrow, I need you to take the cart. So that means on Friday, you're gonna pick up the cart, okay? So you wanna make provisions to make sure that you have the items that you need. Now let's say you live in Vacaville or Vallejo, and you're not at main campus, but you're doing an event tomorrow in Vallejo, and you live in Vallejo. You can go to the Vallejo Center because they have the same stuff.
That's
So
It's
Friday,
the same back view and all this.
Yes.
that's Friday like by 1, right? And they're gone by,
The centers close on Fridays at 4.
3.
Do they?
At the Vallejo in Vacaville?
Uh-huh.
3.
3? Okay.
but I mean admin here, for picking the cart up.
No. Our info booth is here until 3. till 3
So you can get it from the info booth if admissions is closed.
on Fridays.
On Friday.
Yes, yeah, and then too, I mean, if, you know, if you're working an event and I say, hey, I need you to pick up the cart, you know, and you can say, Shamila, I'm in class, or I'm here until whatever, you know, can you help me out? And we can work it out. I mean, if you're not able to get there by 3, communicate with me and I'll work it out with you, okay? Yes, Fabricio.
No, I was
Oh.
say, that's cool, because
Oh, okay.
it can happen.
All right. So that's, the setup for outreach tables. The next thing that we're gonna go over is the outreach calendar. So, do you guys remember what I explained in the first session about, when you'll receive the outreach events for the month?
Yes.
When? Since you remember.
You said they're gonna show a calendar that is pretty full, and you're gonna be we're gonna be very surprised with how many
No, but
outreach-
when am I gonna let you know monthly of what's upcoming for the following month?
one week.
month ahead?
Join
I thought you said month ahead or like the 15th or whatever.
So, by the 25th of each month, I'm gonna be sending out an email to say, these are the events for the next month, right? So, presumably today, I would send an email of what we're doing in October. So then you're able to say, okay, I can do this one, I can do that one, and plug yourself in, okay? I have printouts of the calendar because I need you guys to decide which 2 events you're gonna do your on-the-job training, which you can start as soon as tomorrow. But they need to be done, I give you 2, they need to be done by, October 8th. So your trainings, your on-the-job trainings, need to be done by October 8th. So this is how it's gonna work. You guys are gonna be expected to attend 1 high school outreach and 1 community event, okay? So that's for your on-the-job training. Between starting tomorrow, you can go, as early as tomorrow through October 8th. I need you to say, commit to 2 events. 1 high school event, 1 community event. On the calendar, if you look, let's look together at Monday, September 22nd, 12 to 12:45, there's Armio High School tabling. HS means high school, okay? So you could say, okay, I wanna train at that Armio High School tabling, and then on Thursday, September 25th, I wanna train 6:30 to 7:30 at the Back to School Night Rockville Road Kinder Care. That would be considered a community event because it's not at a high school, okay? So you could presumably choose those 2 as your on-the-job outreach training. Yes, Jelena?
Except for those dates already passed and it's
Right, I was giving that as an
tomorrow-
example.
Okay, is tomorrow considered a high school event or a community event?
Tomorrow, oh, you're talking about the tour. That's a tour, so that's something different. So
Okay.
we're talking about outreach, okay? So, if you look through the calendar, you can see what we have scheduled. I'm asking that no more than 2 ambassadors attend the same event. So let's say Anita and Brenda decided they both wanted to attend Saturday's 11 to 4 Christ Temple Church outreach. Then that means Dave and Brandy couldn't sign up for that one, okay? The ones that I want you to cross off that you guys will not be scheduled to do are orientations. So Wednesday, September 24th, you wouldn't be signing up for the 5 to 8 new orientation. Anything that says new orientation, cross those off. You're not gonna be scheduled to do those. Anything that says Travis newcomers orientation, like Thursday, September 25th, 10:15 to 11:15. Anything at Travis, cross it off. And the reason being is that Travis requires special privileges to get on the base.
I have them.
You have special privileges, awesome, okay? So So for those of you that have special Travis privileges, talk to me after training and we can talk about that.
My dad
Yeah.
said I had to, so. I
Your
don't
what?
know. Special privileges.
Oh, okay. So, and then lastly, Saturday assessments, 9 a.m. to noon, cross those off. You will not be able to do those. So, cross off anything that's 5 to 8 new orientation, that's Travis newcomers orientation, and that's assessment. Cross those off of your calendars for availability. Everything else are events that you will be able to attend and get hours from.
So I can say right now what I want.
I want you to put on your calendar the events that you want.
Oh,
Put
then
your
I
name.
deliver to you.
We're gonna do the trainings first, so just the 2 trainings, starting as soon as tomorrow, which is Thursday the 25th. And I'm hoping that all of you can get your 2 trainings done by Wednesday, October 8th. Okay? So choose 2 between tomorrow and October 8th. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
1 high school, 1 community. Terry, did you say Dr. Spillman wasn't there?
It wasn't at the time, but he comes in at 10, what time is it now? Well, I'm gonna go check.
Of course, that'd be great.
Yes.
You said cross out the 5 to 8s,
5 to 8 new student orientation.
so the 3 to 8, we'll see what is okay.
That's not new student
And the
orientation.
number, is this something I should be concerned about?
No, I'll explain that.
Would the PSA Academy, would that be community
That's-
outreach outreach?
Yes.
What is that?
Just keep it 1 second. Now, before you get too excited, Dr. Spillner did his training yesterday, right? And he had the other half of the group. So they've already signed up for their 2 events. He did not provide that to me, so I'm asked, Terry went to go see, what they signed up for. So I'm hoping that everything you're interested in is not already taken.
We always going to that this kind of stuff?
2 people, you mean?
Yes.
Not 2 ambassadors. It's usually gonna be a seasoned employee and an ambassador.
Oh.
But for the training purposes, I'm fine with 2 ambassadors being at the same one, with the seasoned employee.
St. Mary's Church, where's that? It just says St.
That's
Mary's.
Goville.
Ackerville.
Mm-hmm.
That would be another outreach then, right?
Community.
Community outreach.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call him. I have his cell.
I can run over like to his class if you can, if he has it, like in his class. I'm gonna work on getting some hours for him first.
Okay, thank you.
Are these numbers on the side, the hours?
I'll explain that in a second. But yes, I mean, it's essentially, I marked the number of hours that event would be, including your travel time.
Could you work 2 in one day?
If they're at way different times, you mean? Yeah, if you're available, yeah.
Bro, I can work all these days. It's just teasing me. I'll space it out.
So should we again explain how many hours in each?
1 second, hold on.
Okay.
All right, so here's, I just just decided to look on this clipboard and there were the hours that people signed up for yesterday. Okay, so, PSA 4 to 7 tomorrow is not available.
You say 4 to 7?
That one's not available.
Who's not set up right?
Friday, September 26th, Fairfield High School, 12 to 1 is not available.
It is due 12 to 1. Sorry.
Fairfield High School, I said.
Oh, thank you.
Saturday, the 27th, 11 to 4 is not available. Don't do that, Brandy. Thursday, October 2nd, Armeo High School, not available.
Thursday, October 2nd.
Oh, yeah, we see that as well.
And Monday, October 6th, not available.
You're taking all the ones that I
That you
possibly
chose.
do.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I know.
sorry.
That helps a lot.
So if that's the case, then, you know, I'll extend it out until, Friday the 10th. So if you need to look through the 10th for some other ones, go ahead and look on the 9th and 10th as well. Alright. Alright, so you're selecting which two?
I can get on the dates too, but none of the
Oh.
ones I picked are on this.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have to go first.
Okay, so here,
Where's the matrix parents?
what date is it on?
The 9th.
The 9th. I have this list.
Oh, good.
Matrix parents.
It's in the matrix.
I believe.
Cause you wanna make sure you take care of that, and it's taking out whatever you want it to.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a direct question.
Yeah, you need to fill